Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. Somebody sent me this bitmap or a PNG. Let's see what it says it is. Well, it's just a grayscale image, but you can see it's fuzzy, but it's not too bad. And he did tell me he's going to engrave it on a end of a whiskey barrel thing, which would be wood. So I've already done it, and this is the way I would do it. This is called reverse engraving, so everything black. The letters will be the wood color, and so anything in yellow is going to be wood. And you kind of put it in perspective. If we get rid of this and take it and make it possibly like a wood color and go up to object, order, back a page, that's what it's going to look like. The black's going to be burned, the brown is not, because the brown's not really there, it's transparent. This is a real easy one. So the graphic he sent me is 15 inches wide. So just for instance, I'll make a copy of it, and you can see it's a bounding box around it. I'm going to reduce it in size. You can always remake it, resize it, whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and put a yellow box around it. Go back up to a yellow and go to object, order, back a page. Now what we need to do is select this item. And we're going to go to trace bitmap, outline trace, clip art. And it traces it pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and group by color. Now there's a couple of ways we could do this, but I think there's a lot of colors and a lot of grays. If we break this apart, so I've got it selected to go to object, group, and ungroup it. And if we get our color eyedropper tool, that's gray 126. So it's all 126 gray. So probably the easiest thing to do, I'm going to get rid of all this. I'm going to actually get rid of the big logo. I'm going to hit F4, and that just proves to me that there's nothing else on the page. I'm going to go to edit and find and replace. I'm going to hit current page is good. I'm going to pick on a gray, and then I'm going to go from selected, no object found. Well, tell you what, it's finding something else. Let me delete my yellow box. So you can see how we've got gray. And matter of fact, that kind of shows me there's more than one gray. So let's try this one more time, and if it doesn't work, so kind of select it all, but select a gray, and from selection, invalid object. Well, it's 13 objects. Maybe I don't have it ungrouped enough. No, I thought I ungrouped it, but I didn't. Now I've got it selected, from selection, find all, and I'm actually going to Control G to group it, and then hit delete. So see, there's more than we think to there. I'm going to make sure I'm going to go to object again, and so maybe find and replace isn't going to work in this case. We're just going to, there it is. It did work. It took away all the gray. Now, if it didn't work, you can just individually delete. Well, let me back up here a couple of times. If find and replace doesn't work, see how there's a couple of grays there? So this gray was twice. Now, so we're that far, but we don't want white either. So I'm going to get rid of the white. And look at that. Because it was kind of all grouped together. If that doesn't work, let's go to object and let's ungroup it. Just kind of show you in case that doesn't happen. Take that white and delete it. Now what you're going to have to do, so the first scenario is the best. but then take your pick tool and get all your white and just go ahead and delete it. And there's actually some gray, which is probably a different color gray. So anything that's yellow now will be the wood. So we're just going to have to go through here and delete all these pieces. Whoop. And also, I want to delete the white. Delete the white. Delete the white. White. I'm just hitting delete on my keyboard. And see, those letters are kind of touching, so they did it all at one time. This is a really easy one. There's still a thumbnail white, because it should not engrave if it's an RGB white. Let's click on it and see it's not an RGB white, because an RGB white would be a number like 255, 255. So it could possibly engrave lightly, but just get rid of all the white. Whoop. And make sure you get right. Now, if you ever have trouble, you can hold down the Alt key and select that little white. Well, it's still, I'm going to get rid of my bounding. It's selecting it all. I'm going to select the bounding box, or I could have locked the bounding box. Of course, now I can't tell that it's, and that R has a little bit of a, but it's going to be so small, it's not going to really matter. So let's get our yellow box trick again. And I could have locked my yellow box, and I probably should have. Order back to page. So everything that is yellow is transparent. And you can kind of see that when I move this box. You know, it looks white, but your page is white. Now, group all this together, Control G, and then with your ratio locked, I think it was 15 inches across. So there's your logo back, all ready to go. Quite a bit different. And see all the chain loops are black. You know, if you want to work on that R a little bit, it's going to be so small it's not going to really matter, but you can take your shape tool. I got to ungroup it to do that. Go up to Object Group and ungroup. Grab actually your shape tool and just delete that node. That didn't work very good, but we can select all those and right click, turn them into a curve. And then when we do that, we can move that handle. And this was not really that necessary. That looks pretty good. I would just kind of look over the whole thing. It really looks pretty good. This comes to a point where the top doesn't. So you could take that node right there and then bend that node that away. And it's more of a kind of a pointy at that line. Still a little bit of hiccup right there, but easily fixed. Just curve it back. And you could play around with that till you're really happy with it. Everything else looks pretty good. So just remember that everything, let's put that brown background on it again. And you cannot smart fill this because it'll smart fill just the outside. Let's use a gold wood object order back a page. That's what it's going to look like. This is called reverse engraving. That'll work because you've got reverse engraving and then you've got engraving. So everything black will engrave, everything gold now will be the wood itself. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit. Thank you for watching.